The following is a presentation of the Vol Network. Closed captioning provided by the University of Tennessee full-time MBA program. Learn, transform, lead. It all starts here. This is Tennessee.
I want the whole city of Knoxville to know that it's football time in Tennessee.
A passion that knows no equal. The heart and soul of the Volunteer State.
Show me you want to run the football.
Handoff gets to the outside. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Wow.
For the next 60 minutes, you're tuned to Vol Network coverage of the Tennessee Volunteers.
Football rewards those who wear your opponent out psychologically and physically.
The most celebrated of traditions.
When you step on the field, there must be a sense of purpose.
The pass is going to be caught. Unbelievable catch. He goes down back at the 23-yard line.
Let's go. I've been waiting for this one.
Touchdown, Tennessee to Pick Howard.
I want to win for you.
Welcome to the Butch Jones Show, hosted by Tennessee head football coach Butch Jones and the Vol Network's Bob Kessling. Brought to you by the Big Orange Debit Card, only from the official bank of the Vols, First Tennessee. By your local Ford dealer, Tennessee Saturdays, built Ford tough. By Dish, never miss a moment of Vol action. Catch the Vols on Dish, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics. By Farm Bureau Insurance, with agents in more communities than any other insurer, Tennessee turns to Farm Bureau Insurance, the official insurance of the Vols. Now, the Butch Jones Show.
Tight SEC battle went down to the final plays. Florida hangs on to win 10-9 over Tennessee Saturday at Neyland Stadium. And, Coach, it came down to basically missed opportunities by the Volunteers.
Where the formula for winning, the plan to win, never changes. And it starts with scoring touchdowns in the red zone, taking care of the football, getting off the field on third down defensively, and no untimely penalties. And our margin of error is very, very small. And anytime you have first and 15, second and 15, we're going to be behind the 8 ball, so to speak. But, I thought our kids hung in there, but again, didn't get it done, and it's unfortunate. I know everyone's disappointed. It starts with me. It starts with everyone in our football organization, our players, our coaches. But, the only thing you can do, Bob, is get up this morning, go to work, recruit, develop, and get ready for UT Chattanooga and learn from these mistakes to move forward with this football team.
What were the positive things you saw in the game, though, the effort against Florida? Well,
I thought defensively we played well enough to win the football game. We were opportunistic. We created turnovers. I thought we flew around. In the third quarter, we started to take over the line of scrimmage. And, again, we didn't help our defense out at all. And then offensively, we just have to turn those turnovers into 7 points and not 3 points.
Great atmosphere. When your team ran out through the tee and you saw the checkers around Neyland Stadium, it was pretty special, wasn't it?
Well, it was very special. And again, thank you to Vol Nation for coming out and really doing that. And, I know everyone hurts right now, but the mark of great families is they persevere, they have great resiliency, and they stay together. And we're going to be all right. We're going to keep grinding. Everything is youthful. Everything is exciting. And the prospective student athletes, all the recruits, saw that, and our fans were a big part of it. Now it's a chance, really, when we're down right now and hurting, to show the entire country really what Tennessee Volunteers are all about.
And it was a huge recruiting weekend for you.
Well, a very big recruiting weekend, over 250 unofficial visitors, a number of official visitors. And, the life of a football coach, it's a mentally draining, very taxing day, and then you have to put your recruiting clothes on and recruit. But again, it's all for the betterment of the program. It's all for bettering this team, this program, and all that we do. And they see the progress. Everyone around the country sees what's going on, the numerous phone calls. Just focus on the process. Keep doing what you're doing. And again, that's what we have to do, is we have to step back, take all the emotion out of it, evaluate this game, and how can we continue to improve and get better.
Also, it was a big weekend for former Tennessee Volunteers, Vol for Lifers. There were over 300 of them at the game. They ran through the tee. We'll talk about that more here on the Butch Jones Show.
It's time to honor the Adidas Fall Scholar of the Week. This week we recognize Marcus Jackson. The redshirt junior offensive lineman is currently pursuing a degree in interdisciplinary studies.
They call it interdisciplinary studies, but it's really like environmental studies for me, a little bit of geology. And the thing is, you take a lot of classes on geology, a lot of classes on environmental, the energy, how things really work out with Earth, how we're using fuel and things of that nature.
Jackson plans to utilize the depth of topics in interdisciplinary studies to help further his career after graduation.
What I really want to do with that is just probably take the little science part of the environmental policy, but a little bit, because it is interdisciplinary, so you can get some sociology, a little bit of law in there. I'm trying to probably go to law school when I'm done. The reason I picked that out and trying to go to that path is I took a geology class and then I started to get more into it, and we were talking about all the things that go along with the environment and how it's being degraded. And if you want to fix that, you have to know the science behind it.
Congratulations to this week's Vol Scholar of the Week, presented by Adidas, the official footwear and apparel provider of the Vols.
This is how the Vols pitch in.
How does Tennessee celebrate a victory? Well, by cleaning their stadium, of course. The Vols pitched in and helped remove waste and recyclables from hallowed Neyland Stadium following their battle on the gridiron merely 24 hours before. Exemplifying the power of one, members of Team 118 worked together to help tidy their home turf and keep Neyland Stadium atop the list as the nation's greatest sports venue.
Pitch in and do your part to make Neyland Stadium a zero-waste facility. Sponsored by Eastman, Food City, and Waste Connections. Promote sustainability. At Tennessee, good sports always recycle.
It feels good. Like a lot of things have changed. It's grown tremendously since I've last been here. It's like a new world.
It's indescribable. You know, if you just look around and see what's going on, you know, I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, and I love it. I'm glad to be back.
It's special. I mean, this is a special place, and I think what Coach Jones and the new staff, what they're doing here is special. So it's exciting. I feel really close to Tennessee football, closer than I felt since I played. So it's special, and I'm glad to be back.
I just want to tell you it's an honor and a privilege to be your head football coach. And we have a long ways to go, but we're making tremendous progress each and every day. And we're building that solid foundation. And when we get that solid foundation, we're going to be around for a very long period of time. And this is all because of your hard work, and it is your football program.
And he's bringing a lot of, VFLs back, and he's, welcoming a lot of the ex-players, and like I said, he's showing a lot of love to, the community too. So, like I said, he's come a long way from, where we've been.
I like what Coach Jones is doing. He's not just bringing some more talent in, but he's also bringing in the former players, the older players, and everything, and he's welcoming us back into the family. And that's a good thing. He doesn't mind the older guys coming back, and he's doing it himself, bringing us back, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing because I think that the older guys help build what's going on now, and it's a good thing to keep them guys informed and keep them in the loop.
Tennessee is the #1 school in America, and I wouldn't change the world for nothing.
And Butch Jones leads the Tennessee Volunteers running through the tee on a Saturday afternoon at Neyland Stadium.
All those Vol for Lifers got through the tee, too, and made it in fine style. It was really an emotional scene for those guys.
Well, very emotional scene, and not just Saturday, but it started at Friday evening, and Mike Vollmer and the entire administrative staff did a tremendous job with a great reunion type setting, great celebration to welcome them back. And it is all about our former players, and they've been a tremendous resource for me. And they understand what's going on here at Tennessee, and it takes time. And you just don't build something overnight. It takes time, and you do things right, and they see it. And again, it's great to have them back, and you look at all the greats. You just saw the great feature, but Jamal Lewis, Leonard Little, Al Wilson, Casey Clausen, just to name a few. And to have them around our players are now seeing how special it is to wear that power tee and what it means.
Had Heath Schuler on the Kickoff Call-In Show with Casey, and both of them just talked about how special it is to be back and thanked you for how you've opened your arms and told them, come on back, you're always welcome.
Well, they are the program. They built the program. They They built a rich tradition. They built it with their sweat equity, and to be able to welcome them back is very, very special.
When we come back on the Butch Jones Show, another Vol for life. Inky Johnson will be with us.
Put the ball at the Gator 19-yard line. Take a handoff. Driscoll back to throw over the middle. Batted in the air. Intercepted by Jalen Reese-Maven at the 25. Maven is going to be taken down on a big turnover on first play in the third quarter.
The Butch Jones Show is being brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable network. Verizon, official wireless provider of the Tennessee Volunteers. By UT Medical Center, Tennessee's hospital. UT Medical Center, wisdom for your life.
By the natural gas utilities and pipeline companies in Tennessee.
Natural gas.
And by Food City, the tailgating headquarters of Vol fans everywhere. Food City, value every day.
What's up, fellas? Man, it's an extreme honor to be here. When you think about life, everybody wants the prize, but nobody wants the process. Everybody wants the championship, but nobody wants the day-to-day. Everybody wants to win games, but nobody wants to put in the work that it takes to win games. In the Bible, it talks about in Proverbs, it says, the laborer's appetite works for him, and his hunger drives him on. The laborer's appetite works for him, and his hunger drives him on. And so my question to you all is, what's your appetite for winning? Because if you have an appetite for winning, your hunger will drive you every day. Your hunger will take you to the weight room. Your hunger will take you past 3rd and 2. Your hunger will take you past the opposition. Your hunger will take you past the adversity. Your hunger will take you past the trial and tribulation. Your hunger will take you to that 4th quarter when it's 4 zeros on that clock. You have emptied that bucket. You have given everything you had in that game. See, it's a certain mindset, man, when you attack this thing. The game of football, it's not about skill. That's what people miss the boat on. This game is not about, it has nothing to do with skill. It has nothing to do with a 40-yard dash. It has nothing to do with jumping a 40-inch vertical. What this game is about, it's about will. That's it. It's not about skill. This game is about will. And so the moment that you make up in your mind, the day that you make up in your mind that you are going to play this game for God and give everything you got to it, you can't help but to give everything you got. And that's the moment that you will realize this game has nothing to do with skill. I've seen plenty of talented guys fold. I've seen plenty of talented guys get hit in the mouth and they didn't want it. I've seen plenty of talented guys get punched in the face and they go back to the sideline and they stand beside their coach and they don't want it no more. They make up excuses. I've seen plenty of talented guys. They ran a 4.2 and a 40. They bench pressed 325 pounds. When 3rd and 1 came up, they tapped their helmet to come out of the game. That has nothing to do with skill. All you have to do is when you go in that locker room, you thank God that it's a blessing to play that game, and you go out and you bust it and you nail it for 4 quarters until it's 4 zeros on that clock. You punch them in their mouth. Because somebody's going to blink. And don't let it be you. That's my time. God bless you all, man. Let's go. Thank you.
He's an amazing young man. He had the bad hand dealt to him. Always has a smile on his face. Doesn't have an excuse. Always going forward.
True Vol for life. His relationship, our relationship means everything to me, our staff, our players. And if you notice, the greatest thing he said is that everybody wants the prize, but nobody wants the process. And we're going through that process right now. And we're going to get the prize. We just need to keep grinding. But every time we can have Inky Johnson come back and speak to our football team, it means everything because he plants his seeds. He sprinkles his seeds on every member in our football program.
Very special Tennessee Volunteer, Inky Johnson. Rick Russo now has a profile on Tennessee wide receiver Jason Croom.
Takes a handoff, back to throw, fires long down the left sideline. That pass going to be broken up, and no, it's caught. It bounced off the Kentucky defensive back right into the hands of Jason Croom for a Tennessee touchdown.
Imposing, strong, athletic. These are just a few words that describe Tennessee wide receiver Jason Croom, who at 6'4", 240 pounds, is easily the biggest target in Tennessee's wide receiving core.
He's everything you're looking for in a wide receiver. Obviously, he's big, strong, physical, and can run for being that big. Is elusive because he can go out in the perimeter and still come close to the box because of his size.
Jason's a big guy, 6'5", 240 plus at times, but he's a great asset to the group with Marquez and Vaughn and some guys like that. To have Jason join that group and be a threat to anybody out there is huge. As a receiver, I'm bigger than most receivers. I mean, I'm 6'4", 240. It's just using my body, being out there, using my body to go get the ball in between routes, on blocking. Those are advantages that I have.
Hard work, dedication, and determination are key to a player's growth on the field. And the growth Jason has shown from last year to this year has been quite noticeable.
He's a completely different player. I mean, year one, he was coming off an injury. You know, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Jason because I've been pretty hard on him for a year to try and get him to push past the threshold, to play as talented as he is.
Definitely my coach, Coach Z. He's on me every day, just pushing me to be better. I mean, anytime I feel like I'm even thinking about being complacent, he see it and he's on it. Like, he's gonna push me. He's gonna get everything out of me if he can.
Being a redshirt sophomore means Jason is a veteran leader for Team 118's young wide receiver corps, and that is a role he is honored to have.
I've challenged him. He's done a really good job of just being able to push through. Last season, he kind of struggled a little bit. That was the first time he had to go through an SEC grind. The year before, like I said, he was hurt and didn't really understand, and I think he has a full grasp of not only the offense, but what it takes to make it through a season.
Being an older player, Coach Z expects a lot out of us. Like Marquez, me, Jay Carter. He expects us to be teaching the young guys how to come along so that they pass it on to the other guys that come.
He's able to go out and practice a little more confident and help the younger kids and kind of show them what they're about to embark on every week.
For the Butch Jones Show, I'm Rick Russo.
Jason's that big body receiver, and he's learning to use that body more, isn't he, too?
He is, and we talk about him owning the red zone. That has to be his area. And he's work in progress. He's developing each and every day. And, the fine details of what it takes to play winning football at the receiver position, how to stick routes, how to get in and out of breaks, how to use your hands, a triple move down on the goal line, different things like that. And you see him progressing week in and week out.
Jason Croom, one of the valuable members of Tennessee's wide receiving crew. Now let's go to the Media Mash with Sarah Mitchell.
We don't have any time to waste because you guys certainly came through for Media Mash this week. So let's jump right in with this first post from Waverly Thurman and her sidekick, who didn't want to wear only orange or white, so they took checker kneeling to a whole new level. A huge shout out goes to 3rd Class Petty Officer Michael Persinger with our own Justin Worley. Thanks for your service, Michael. This wouldn't be a complete Media Mash without showing off some of the cutest Vol babies, all the way up to the big kids. David Womack shared this special moment between mom and newborn. Miguel Surfas is proud of baby Jackson, who at only a few weeks old is already sporting the checkerboard bow tie. Ben Galloway tweeted this photo from this little guy's very first Vol walk. Kinley sports her Vols cheerleader outfit and football leggings on this birthday photo shoot. And Kelly Evans shares these VFL sisters who have nothing but smiles for the Tennessee Vols. And what's better than a selfie these days? What about this selfie Orlando snapped with Coach Jones? This week we want to see your best homecoming pictures, so tweet or Instagram me at SarahUTK for your chance to be on next week's show. Don't go away, the Butch Jones Show will be right back.
Your child's inside look at Tennessee athletics is available through the Junior Vols Club. Annual memberships include a Junior Vols t-shirt, monthly newsletters, free admission to select UT sporting events, and much more. For more information or to sign up for Junior Vols, visit utsports.com. Presented by the Knoxville Orthopedic Clinic, proudly serving the University of Tennessee Athletic Department.
Fueling Tennessee, presented by Humana, your health partner for life.
When you think of cooking, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
A nightmare.
So cooking is a little intimidating, right?
It is.
As it is for most people. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you an easy snack that you can make. We're gonna make your own calzone. You just get the refrigerated pizza dough from the grocery store, and we're gonna cut this, just use a pizza cutter. We're gonna do pesto, marinara sauce.
My favorite.
And then I want you to cut up this turkey. And the sound effects do help, actually. So that's perfect. Better. It does make it feel better. So I want you to put this pesto sauce on this piece of dough, but leave a little bit of edge because we need to seal up the edge. What you can do is go and buy the frozen steamable vegetables at the grocery store. And then you'll pair this with this and you'll have a meal. Then you add the pasta sauce.
I feel like I'm creating my own pizza back
You
home.
are totally making your own pizza. But one thing that I want you to do is to make sure you're getting enough protein in there because we want to make sure that that is part of the meal. So that's a little bit of turkey. Let's put a little bit more in there. Let's make it like a man snack.
A man snack?
Let's make it a man snack.
We can do that.
Then your spinach, and then your cheese. So there we go. And we just pinch the sides. So you go, can you do that? Yeah, make that noise.
What's that noise?
So you stick it in the toaster oven at about 400 degrees. We're gonna wait about 5 to 7 minutes and we will see a finished product. All right, take a bite, give it a try. Good?
I love it.
All right.
I'll be back when I finish this.
Well, you teach him a bunch of things. Now eating calzones, that's good.
Well, Cortez is eating a lot of calzones. He's up to about 223 pounds now, and we need him to gain that weight as we moved him from the safety position to the linebacker position.
He's really helping on special teams, too, isn't he now?
He is. He's an individual who takes tremendous pride in his performance. He's on all special teams. He's kind of filling the role that Jalen Reeves-Maybin served for us last year. He takes great pride in his performance. The dialogue after every single snap, it matters to him, and he's progressing. I'm excited about his future.
Another key member of this Tennessee football team, one of the freshmen, Derek Barnett. Danny Kleppinger has a profile on the Tennessee freshman.
Derek Barnett is in his first season with the Vols, and he's already making Tennessee history. He was the first true freshman to start the season opener on the defensive line.
I didn't know I was the first one because there's been a lot of good D-linemen come through, but I think it's cool, and I just have to keep doing what I'm doing and keep making plays.
Barnett got his first hint that he was on the right track when he became one of the first newcomers to have his stripe removed during fall camp.
I had no clue it was coming, but I saw my helmet. They brought my helmet in, and I'm the only one on the D-line who has a visor, so I knew it was me. And it was a good feeling because all the upperclassmen were smiling, they were giving me high fives and telling me good job. And so I felt good because I was doing something to help them out.
Nowhere to go in the backfield. Barnett stacks him up, drops him, a loss of 1.
I just try to get better at one thing a day, and I try to come into practice with the right mindset. Because some days it's hot and nobody wants to practice, but I tell myself, it's my job, I gotta get better at my craft today, and I'm lucky and God gave me this opportunity, so I just try to get better at it.
Naturally, there are times when the freshman needs some guidance, and for that, Barnett seeks out sophomore Corey Vereen.
He's just so smart, and he knows his techniques, he's smart about football, and he loves the game, so I turn to him a lot.
The Nashville native says he chose Tennessee for the traditions and the atmosphere of Neyland Stadium. But he also just wanted his family, specifically his mother, to easily be able to come watch him play.
She was really excited. It was her first time in Neyland when we played Sunday against Utah State. She was really blown away by the atmosphere and just the environment. It's not like high school, it's like the real thing now.
Reporting for the Butch Jones Show, I'm Danny Kleppinger.
He's a very special and mature young freshman, isn't he?
Well, you just took the words out of my mouth, a mature young man. And he's gaining valuable repetitions that will serve him for many years to come. But the biggest compliment is that he has earned the respect of his peers.
That's the thing is, from day one, he just kind of felt like he belonged here, wanted to do what he needed to do to get on the field.
He did, and though we went through about the last 3 weeks of recruiting was very trying. Everyone in the country came after him, and he had been committed for a very, very long time, and I give a lot of credit to his mother. His mother has done a great job of raising him, teaching him values and principles and how you compete, and Mom made sure that he was true to his word, and we're very blessed to have him here, and he has a great career ahead of him.
Indeed, he's making a big impact in the Tennessee defense, Derek Barnett. When we come back on the Butch Jones Show, we'll talk about Fast and Furious.
Time out to check the stats. Brought to you by Dish.
Great quarterbacks playing at the University of Tennessee are nothing new for the Big Orange. Touchdowns have been heaved from the likes of Manning, Holloway, Ainge, Robinson, Kelly, Clausen, and Martin. With all the greats to play the position, it is Bryson City, North Carolina's very own that sits #1 with the most consecutive games throwing a touchdown pass. Check the stats. Heath Shuler stands atop with 18 consecutive games with throwing a touchdown from Alabama in 1992 to Shuler's final game against Penn State on January 1st, 1994.
Shuler, misdirection, throws the ball. It is caught by Tennessee at the 35 to the 40, to the 45 to the 50, to the 45 to the 40, to the 35 to the 30, to the 25 to the 20, to the 15 to the 10. He has scored. He has scored. Give him 6. Touchdown, Big Orange. It's the down 4.
Yeah, that was some great times. Brings back some incredible memories, and you know, records are really great, but it's really the team effort. It's the offensive line in front of you. It's the great running backs, and of course, passing record. You got to have the best receivers. You know, and I like having to come. I like the opportunity to come back to Tennessee and watch the Vols. And when I'm not there, I have an opportunity through Dish to be able, with my my tablet or my smartphone, to be able to watch the Vols at any time.
Check the stats. Never miss a moment of Vol action. Watch live TV wherever you are. Learn more at dish.com/Vol. Catch the Vol on Dish.
The Butch Jones Show is being delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you. Visit thenewlogistics.com. By Hyundai, proud supporter of college football and loyal fans everywhere. By Eastman Chemical Company, promoting sustainability. Remember, good sports always recycle. And by TRH Health Plans. We've got you covered. Get a rate quote online at trh.com or at your local Tennessee Farm Bureau office.
Fast and furious, we're trying to run our opponents out the stadium.
Swing it out near side. The pass complete down this near sideline. There goes Josh Smith to the 15, to the 10, and knocked out of bounds.
We always going fast. We're never walking, not even an incomplete pass. It's just we're always moving, bouncing around, communicating with all the receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, line.
You got to bring the tempo today. Here we go. Fast furious on 2. 1, 2. Fast furious.
We want to be known as an up-tempo team.
Hands the ball right. Jalen Hurd running toward the corner, breaks a tackle and gets into the checkerboards.
Furious. We don't give up on any play. We're playing with 63 effort.
Fake to Hurd, and now Worley keeps it and follows him right into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown.
Mindset, you never walk on the practice field, do you?
Never. And it's all about controlling the tempo, and it's that culture. It's everything that permeates in your football family, and it's all about effort. It's all about a mentality in finishing football plays, and that's what we're learning to do. The one thing I've been extremely pleased with all year has been our effort. Our players take tremendous pride in their effort. Still need to take it now a notch higher. But again, when we talk about fast and furious, it's all about controlling the tempo. And it's not just going fast all the time. It may be giving the illusion of fast and getting up and being able to check the play. Or if your defense just had a long drive, you need to keep them on the bench so they're ready to go. So a lot goes into controlling that tempo.
To a man in the locker room after the game, they talked about getting back to work on Monday. And the fact that they know it's business and now you got to get ready for Chattanooga. And that's that mindset, as you said, snap and clear. Let's go to the next play.
Well, we have to be a blue-collar football team. And that's what Tennessee is comprised of, is blue-collar people. And that's symbolic of our football program. That's the only way you can do. You can't feel sorry for yourself. We've had that. We've had that 24 hours. Now it's time to go back to work. It's a long football season. We still have a lot to play for. And again, remember at the start of the season I said we're raising a football team. We're raising a football program from ground zero. And we didn't have the outcome that we wanted. I'm disappointed. I take full responsibility for that as a head football coach. But you know what? It's time to move on. It's time to continue to focus on the process. As Inky said, everybody wants the prize, but nobody wants the process. And we just need to continue to get better and recruit, and we're going to be all right.
It's midterms now. Kids are getting ready for the exams. It's nice to be at home this week. Chattanooga comes in Saturday, but having a chance to get the studies and football practice in this week.
Well, being at home again is going to be critical. Again, we're going to need everyone's fan support, and our fans, our student body has been outstanding, but now it's really a chance for us to really come together as Vol Nation and say, hey, we bleed together. We're disappointed. We suffered through the adversity, but it's a new week, and every week is a new season. And we're starting a new season this week with UT Chattanooga.
Coach, have a good week, and we'll see you next Saturday for Chattanooga at Neyland Stadium.
Thanks, Bob.
Coach Butch Jones of the Tennessee Volunteers will show you highlights from Tennessee, Florida next.
Fans, tune in every Monday night from 8 to 9 p.m. for the Big Orange Hotline. Join Bob Kessling and Pat Ryan as they break down each and every Tennessee football game. That's the Big Orange Hotline, every Monday night live from Dead End Barbecue in West Knoxville.
And Butch Jones leads the Tennessee Volunteers running through the tee on a Saturday afternoon at Neyland Stadium. We're in the first quarter. Florida first down. Reverse. They get to Showers. Showers trying to get to the corner. Tennessee's there. They turn him back inside, and Derek Barnett jumps him out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Sets up, fires long left sideline. The pass batted around, intercepted by Tennessee at the 45-yard line. Cameron Sutton. And a 36-yard attempt is on the way. Spinning toward the uprights, and that kick is good. Driscoll back to throw over the middle, batted in the air, and intercepted by Jalen Reese-Maven at the 25. Maven is going to be taken down on a big turnover on first play in the third quarter. Tennessee with 6 coming. Screen pass, Driscoll can't get it off, and he's sacked back at the 38-yard line. Third down and 5, blitz, pass, intercepted off the receiver, picked off by Todd Kelly Jr. He's down to the 15-yard line. Snap down. Kick on the way by Medley, spinning for the uprights, and that kick is good. They overload the left side. They pick a handoff. Driscoll hit and sacked back at the 23-yard line as Tennessee sacks Driscoll for a loss of 7. Back to throw, pump fake, fires long down the left sideline. Pass complete, right on target to the 20, and down to the 12-yard line goes Jonathan Johnson. And he'll try this one with the wind at his back, going right to left. Snap down, kick on the way. Line drive, going through the uprights. Driscoll gets the snap, back to throw. Tennessee's coming, they got him. Back at the 20-yard, and now he breaks free. And now he's taken down at the 15-yard line. Chris Weathers got him. As the Gators have come from behind in the fourth quarter to beat Tennessee today 10-9.
With John Bryce of VolQuest.com, it was a raucous stadium for 3 quarters, and the fourth quarter, deathly silent. It was a kind of an amazing comeback. And Tennessee, I think, when you look at it, let them get back in the game.
Yeah, Tennessee left a lot of points on the board. I guarantee you that that's what coaches will be talking about in meetings today and Monday as they get back out onto the practice field and begin prep for Chattanooga. But Tennessee had ample opportunity to put that game away and simply just left way too many points on the board, didn't capitalize in the red zone with touchdowns instead of field goals.
And you look at the 2 missed opportunities early in the third quarter. You got a field goal out of the 2 interceptions. But then it seemed like really the play that turned the game around was when Worley got sacked, and then Florida converted that first touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't think Florida was ever going to march the length of the field on Tennessee's defense. Those guys were playing too well. They were too fast. They were extremely well coached. But giving Florida a short field allowed the Gators to get just enough momentum to get back into that game. And again, when your defense puts you in those sorts of positions around the 20-yard line, you have to capitalize with touchdowns, and that was the difference, Bob. And now this Tennessee team has to regroup. There's a lot of angst over not beating Florida. There was a ton of investment going into that game.
Talk about also a little bit Tennessee offensively. Von Pearson, Josh Smith not there. That's a big part of the Tennessee offense and really hurt the passing game.
Well, Pearson played only about 10 snaps. Josh Smith has been out since the Oklahoma game. Marquez North missed some significant stretches in the game Saturday, as did Josh Malone at times. And Jalen Hurd was banged up on the sideline. Hurd was working on his shoulder, working on his right knee. They need another running back to step up, whether that's Darrell Scott. I don't think Marlon Lane has a lot of confidence right now. They need some more complementary pieces to step up.
And Lane's banged up too.
Yeah, Lane's banged up, and it goes back to the depth, and that's why this coaching staff has so much pressure on it in recruiting, because they cannot afford any misses with the depth on this roster, or the lack of depth, I should say.
When we come back, we'll ask the coach here on the Butch Jones Show.
It's time to announce the AutoZone player of the game. Get in the zone, AutoZone. In the zone for Tennessee was Aaron Medley. The freshman accounted for all 9 Tennessee points with field goals of 36, 38, and 39 yards. Congratulations to Aaron Medley, our AutoZone player of the game. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone, AutoZone.
The Butch Jones Show is being brought to you by Vol Network Home Entertainment. From Pat Summitt to Peyton Manning, Vol Network Home Entertainment has the greatest moments on DVD.
By Humana, over 50 years of experience in the healthcare industry. Humana, your partner in health.
By the natural gas utilities and pipeline companies in Tennessee.
Natural gas.
And by the Tennessee Education Lottery. Proud to have raised over $3 billion for education programs in Tennessee. It's time now for Ask the Coach, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, a proud corporate sponsor of the Vols. Visit them online at academy.com.
Welcome back to Ask the Coach, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. This week I'm joined by running backs coach Robert Gillespie. And Coach Gillespie, your question comes from Joel Watson on behalf of lots of Vol fans. But he says, what is your assessment of Jalen Hurd?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jalen Hurd, the biggest surprise for us is his pass protection. Obviously on film you can see that he was a really talented kid with the ball in his hands. But I think the biggest question mark for any new running back is, can he protect? And that's one of the things that he's really done a really good job of wanting to be a better pass protector. And I think that's probably what he really enjoys doing is showing that he can protect the quarterback and do a good job of it. And
let's talk about Marlon Lane, senior on the team, senior leader. You've said that over and over. What does he bring into the field that you like?
He's a good teammate, not just in the running back room, but I think throughout the whole team. He's a guy that you can see him pulling aside freshmen to talk to them about school and some of the mistakes that he made off the field and some of the early struggles that he had academically. So I think those are the things that he brings to the table. And, he just works hard. And it's going to be a big role for him as the season continues.
It was no secret that we had lots of newcomers coming into this season. Talk about kind of what you've seen from them and maybe Jalen specifically that you really like from him.
Not just Jalen, but this whole class is a group of competitive kids. I mean, these kids have all come from winning programs, won a lot of games, and their expectations of getting this program back to the dominance in this league and in the country, you hear it and see it every day. They love to compete. We've had a couple tussles and fights in practice, and that's a sign of guys that want to win and compete. So that's something that's welcomed here, is the competitive nature. But all those kids have brought such a will and a fight back to the Tennessee program, and that's what you want to see as a coaching staff.
Talk about some of the priorities that you really want to see with your running back core this season.
Well, we talk all the time about being explosive. One thing we talk about as a running back room is turning 8 into 80. Just not getting that 8-yard gain, but taking that 8-yard gain and making it an 80-yard gain. So we have to be a more explosive group. We need some big runs to come from the group. We also have to continue to do a great job of pass protection, protecting the quarterback, moving the chains. We call ourselves CMG, chain moving game. We have to move the chains every time we touch the ball. And last but not least, we got to do a great job protecting the football. Those are the things that are going to allow us to continue to get the ball into different playmakers' hands if we continue to take care of the football.
What's the best part about coaching at Tennessee?
The tradition. It's fun every day to live in a city and being a state that understands how important it is to win. I've had some really good coaching opportunities at other places, but this is the first place that I've been that truly understands what it takes to win a championship. And the pressure is there, but it's a welcome pressure, and it's just a great place to come to work every day.
Well, we're glad to have you at Tennessee, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Go Vols.
John, I think obviously Tennessee and Coach Gillespie addressed it a bit. They need some depth. They need some more running backs.
Yeah, Bob, we talked about it last segment. It's imperative that Tennessee finds someone who can step up for Jalen Hurd and help carry that load. And it's a rigorous gauntlet in the SEC, and you can never get by with just one running back. And it's too much wear and tear on a running back's body. You know, Jalen Hurd is too young to have to repeatedly have 25 or 30 touches every single game. And again, Darrell Scott needs to continue coming along. Marlon Lane has to get healthy and has to regain his confidence. Where does Devin Young fit in that mix? And then in recruiting, you know, the Vols have some big-time recruits committed at the running back position, but there's still more on campus that have been on campus this weekend. They need help at the running back position, and there's opportunity to play right away. This coaching staff has shown that it will play new guys right away.
Your best teams have 3 and maybe even 4 running backs.
They do, and you need different types of running backs, and Jalen Hurd is the most well-rounded running back on Tennessee's roster right now. He can do a little bit of everything, and he's great at pass protection. He's really good catching the ball out of the backfield, but he can't do everything all the time for Tennessee.
When we come back, we'll take a look ahead as Tennessee gets set to take on Chattanooga.
Time now for the Tennessee Top 5, brought to you by Hyundai.
Snap down, kick on the way by Medley, spinning for the uprights, and that kick is good. Driscoll back to throw, sets up, fires long left sideline, the pass, batted around, intercepted by Tennessee at the 45-yard line. Cameron Sutton gets the snap, back to throw. Tennessee's coming, they got him. Back at the 20-yard, no, he breaks free, and now he's taken down at the 15-yard line. Chris Weatherd got him. Driscoll, 3rd down and 5, blitz, pass, intercepted off the receiver, picked off by Todd Kelly Jr. 15-yard line, fake a handoff, Driscoll back to throw over the middle, batted in the air, intercepted by Jalen Reese-Maybin at the 25. Maybin is going to be taken down on a big turnover.
Fans, please direct your attention to the video board for today's Loyal Fan of the Game, brought to you by Hyundai. Vol fans are loyal. Hyundai fans are loyal too. Enough to be ranked #1 in customer loyalty 5 years in a row.
It's time for the First Tennessee First Look, a scouting report and look ahead at the Vols' upcoming opponent. Brought to you by First Tennessee Bank, the official bank of the Vols.
Chattanooga comes to town on Saturday. It's a 4 o'clock start at Neyland Stadium. Chattanooga 3-2 now, coming off a 55-7 win over VMI.
Yeah, ranked 14th, I think, in the FCS poll. Jacob Huseman has over 6,000 career yards of offense. Davis Tull, a Knoxville native, is an All-American on the defensive line for the Mocs, and they've got some Georgia transfers.
So it'll be a 4 o'clock kickoff at Neyland Stadium next Saturday. There are tickets available at uttix.com. For John Bryce, Coach Butch Jones, I'm Bob Kessling. See you next week here on the Butch Jones Show.